What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we are going to be comparing the east side versus the west side. And yes, it is a thing here in Arizona, or Phoenix in particular, and that's what we're going to be comparing is East Phoenix versus West Phoenix. Why is this a thing is what you're going to learn about, and how to decide whether or not you want to choose the east or the west side, right? So if you're new to living in Arizona and you're thinking about moving here, you may consider subscribing to this channel because we've got a whole series of different videos that we've discussed on living in Arizona. Yesterday we made a video driving around Queen Creek and Gilbert. And let me know if you guys want more of those videos. You can drop a comment and I read them and I try to respond to them, or at the very least, do read them. And anyways, let's go ahead and dive in here. So this comes from a question that a viewer asked me. He said, hey Jeff, how come you don't ever talk about Buckeye? And what do you think? And I've had other people ask me what I think of West Phoenix. And so let's just go ahead and dive right in here and talk about this. When I moved back to Phoenix, before I was living here, I was living in Hawaii. And before I was living in Hawaii, in 2014, I moved from California, San Diego to Hawaii, right? Now, when I moved back to Arizona, I had a choice. I said, where am I going to move back to? Should I move back to North Phoenix, where I'm originally from? Or should I move to Southeast Phoenix or South Phoenix? Where should I move back to, right? Scottsdale, Peoria, West Phoenix, East Phoenix. And I ultimately had it in my mind that I was going to go, basically, for me, it was Tempe, Gilbert. I didn't really think about Santan Valley until I started to think about the potential out here, which is where I ended up, which is actually, it's in a different county than Maricopa County. It's in Pinal County, but it's basically Queen Creek, and it's growing pretty nicely out here. But West Phoenix never really came up, and if it did, I was only considering really Northwest Phoenix, Peoria, Surprise, and that was about it. I didn't really consider Buckeye. Now, Buckeye has improved. Like the west side of Phoenix has improved a lot over the years. If you just look at Levine and some of those other places out there, by Luke Air Force Base, it's come a long way. Buckeye in particular, I always say this, and I'm not even kidding. Like 20 years ago, Buckeye was considered the armpit of Phoenix, and there's a couple other places that would have been considered the armpit, but Buckeye was one of them. Maybe even Apache Junction out here in the East Valley. And it's nothing against that. And North Valley would have probably been New River. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Anaheim was once considered the armpit of Los Angeles, and that's why they built Disneyland out there. So why did they build the Arizona Cardinals Stadium in Glendale in the West Valley? Well, it was because it was a big plot of land, and it was right along the freeway, and they got it for a really good price. So it was affordable. And another thing was, if they build it on the west side, they can expand Phoenix. It's not just so concentrated to the Southeast Valley from Phoenix to Tempe. So by building out in the West Valley, it kind of brought things out towards the West Valley. For me, I'm like, that's the worst place they could have built it, Glendale. I don't think that was a very good decision. I would like to see them bring it back towards Tempe, actually. I think the Cardinals, the Suns, should all be considering living or moving towards the Southeast Valley. Now, that is my personal opinion. Now, what's the perks? Why do people even consider moving out to the West Valley? Well, a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's pretty affordable. Buckeye went from the armpit to actually a pretty nice place now. It's pretty nice. It's not terrible. But it's affordable. So you can get a pretty nice home for an affordable price because the land was really cheap. There's not a markup, you get it? So when they build a new house in Buckeye in a new community, it's not on a premium lot of land. And that's one of the reasons why Buckeye's got brand new homes, but they're cheaper than they would be in, say, Gilbert or something like that. Now, if you just look at the jobs reports, for example, you'll notice that Chandler, Scottsdale, Gilbert, they all come up on nationwide list of best places for workers, best places to get a job, even Tempe. The only places that ever kind of come up on those kind of lists at all, or like Peoria or Surprise, I'd be surprised if Glendale ever comes up. Surprise, surprise, right? Another thing to think about the West Valley is it's where Sun City is, Sun City West. That's the retirement community. That's not a reason not to move out there. But let's just say this: my dad, his fiance or his girlfriend she lives in the Sun City area. So I mean, I've been out there. I've spent time out there. It's not bad. It's pretty nice. I mean, when I was in the military, we had a detachment to Luke Air Force Base, and I stayed out there for a little bit. But it seemed like every time I was at Luke Air Force Base, I was always knowing I had to go towards the city, Phoenix. And Luke Air Force Base is way out there on the avenues, just at the base of White Tank Mountains. Okay, so overall, I mean, that's the real that's the real gist of what you need to know about that. But if we just look at other people's opinions on like forums and stuff, which you can do, you can always look into that. You'll see here's one from a resident that's lived in Phoenix for a while. West Side is getting better than it used to be. Definitely more affordable there. This will be a heavy skewed topic. It's like gang wars. West Siders don't like East Siders and vice versa. I wouldn't say that there's this intercity war so much between West Side and East Side. Like me, I don't personally care. I have no problem if you're from the East Side or the West Side. That doesn't even ring a bell to me. Some people might take issue with it, I guess. But this person also went on to say, that being said, I'd never live on the West Side. It's boring to me and not much to do. I hate going to Cardinals games because Glendale is so far away. I agree with that part. Glendale is so far away. Like going to a Cardinals game takes me 2 hours to get there, and I live in the Phoenix metro area. So Chandler, Gilbert, Scottsdale, some of Tempe, south of the 60, Ahwatukee, or East Phoenix, east of the 51 are where I'd want to be for good schools, more to do, more scenery, better dining options, resorts, golf, hiking. This is all true. This person, I don't know if it's a male or female, but that opinion I agree with for the most part. Here's another one. And you can go on any of these forums, right? Like citydata.com. Estrella in Goodyear checks off the list of all boxes with stores mentioned in 20 minutes or less. So they're saying HOA fees are homes between $250,000 to $300K on the West Valley, HOA under $100, nearby libraries, good schools, lots of stores like Lowe's, Home Depot, Costco, Sam's Club, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, lots of parks, dog park would be nice. And so this person is sharing this information with the poster who's asking if they should go to the East or the West Valley. And they're saying that Estrella in Goodyear is West Valley. Now, all of these things I know for a fact are in the East Valley. So you could see they're trying to get some stuff in the East, in the West Valley, but it's not as established or high end as the East Valley. The East End is where you pay a little bit more, you get a little bit more quality in the East Valley. Just overall, East Valley has more quality than the West side of Phoenix. But it's getting better. I mean, especially as Peoria goes north, and so does Surprise. That northwest pocket is definitely quality. My sister, she lives up there towards Anthem, which is considered west central Phoenix, about 27th Avenue area, north of Deer Valley. It's pretty nice up there. Like, it's at the foothills of those mountains over there. And I remember when I was growing up, those mountains were nothing. Like, you'd look off to the right at I-17 and there was nothing there. Now you look right, there's all these nice houses, and they've done a nice job of developing an area that was once like moonscape. I mean, that's the best way I can explain that. So I mean, it's got that vibe, right? You can, like I said, you can go on these and check those out. I already gave my opinion at the beginning of the video, but people buying homes in Phoenix, this is the kind of stuff they want to know, because Phoenix is so big. Should they consider northeast, south, or west? And if I were to put Phoenix into one big pot and say, like, how would I describe the metro area? If you've got big money, you're looking northeast. If you've got moderate money and you want quality, you're going to look, I guess, northwest or southeast, but southeast is known for having better schools. Northwest has okay schools. Central Valley is where you get the cheapest. So from, like I've said in other videos, from Bell Road at 24th Avenue till Bell Road at, 50th Street, say, south all the way down to, Baseline or just south of Tempe, is really a cheaper place to live. But then again, inside the middle of that is Arcadia and Paradise Valley, which is high end. You know, and that might even be the most expensive place to live in all of Phoenix, but that's right there in the center, but it's at the base of the foothills. So for the most part, when you're on flat ground and you can't see any mountains, that's where the land is the cheapest, because in that area, it's just basically bowl over a tumbleweed and you build. 2 tumbleweeds. That's what the landscape looks like. If you want to know what the landscape of Phoenix used to look like, just drive from Phoenix to Tucson and just outside of Casa Grande, you'll see what the landscape looks like, and that's what Phoenix basically used to look like in most of these areas. It's really just empty desert. There is some, but as you get up into the foothills, you come up into Palo Verde trees and mesquite trees. But the white tanks, you don't really see that at the foothills. Like, you have to go extra high up to see trees and stuff like out there in West Phoenix. I mean, obviously they're out there, but it's not like it is out in the foothills over in the East Valley. So just some stuff to consider. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, if you're looking to move to Phoenix, it is what it is, right? But I mean, better schools. For me, it's better schools, better quality of life, just friendlier people. Well, I don't know. Both are pretty friendly. More to do just in the East Valley. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's just got that. So I wanted to make this video to address that. Buckeye, I'm cool with Buckeye. I've got friends that live in Buckeye. When they first told me they live in Buckeye, I said, what? You moved to Buckeye? I mean, I'm telling you the truth. Like, that's how Buckeye used to be. Like, if you lived in Buckeye, it was, whoa, what are you doing out there? Now it's like Buckeye went from 4,000 people to over 20,000 people in the span of 2 years. So just wanted to put that out there. And if you guys enjoy these videos, do hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys next time.